and an audience reach of 12 million listeners. KBLA Talk 1580 is a pioneer for Black audio content, including our groundbreaking $2 million climate justice campaign and the most loyal, influential audience. According to an independent research study by the polling firm Aviterus, for the second consecutive year, KBLA Talk 1580 is the most trustworthy, reliable, and credible news source for Black audiences and beyond in Southern California. Let KBLA Talk 1580 power your advertising dollars. Our omni-channel custom marketing solutions are specifically tailored to connect with your ideal target audience. We leverage audio, podcasts, streaming, digital, social media, and local activations to get your message out to the Black community. Get in touch with our advertising team today at advertising@kbla1580.com. That's advertising at kbla1580.com. KBLA 1580. We've got your Black.
You ready?
It's the queen of royal badness.
It's time for the Raw Report with Robin Ayers. Highlighting people and things you should know about. Robin's got you covered. Follow Robin at Robin Ayers. You're listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Robin's got a lot to talk about.
I know it's strange, but my brain's gone really insane. And I'm off the chain, sipping on a fifth for the golden grain. I feel like slapping somebody today. Slapping somebody today. I feel like slapping somebody today. Slapping somebody today. Slapping somebody today. I know it's strange, but my brain's gone really insane. And I'm off the chain, sipping on a fifth for the golden grain. I feel like slapping somebody today. Slapping somebody today. I feel like slapping somebody today. Slapping somebody today.
You were inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580, where we bring you the latest in entertainment news, trending topics, and interviews. I'm your host, Robin Ayers. I'm with you all Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. on your drive home. It is Tuesday. We getting there. We up in there. We up in there officially. Happy Tuesday to all of you. Good to see you. I see you, Raw Squad, coming on in. Slowly but surely is how we get down. I like it. I like it a lot. It's still burning up. It is still burning up. We are still, it is 100 plus in the valley. Yeah, it's 100 plus. My car said 115 degrees today. And I think that was sitting, obviously, but once I started driving, it was still in the 100s. So yeah, it's doing a doozy on us. But you know what? With that being said, talking about weather, I'm gonna send my special shout outs and condolences to everyone who's going through things. That storm, that hurricane, touched down in Houston, Texas. All of Texas, they were feeling it, but Houston, Texas, they got it pretty bad. And, I know people there. My good friend Brandy is out there. Several people that I know who are out there who, they were experiencing power outages and things. Thankfully, it's all coming back right now. But, the key is to never complain. Never complain, because no matter what you're going through, someone else could be going through something equally just as bad or even worse as you. So definitely don't complain. It is a pretty good Tuesday. I'm feeling pretty good today. And Andy, how are you? How are you feeling these days?
Well, shout out to you, Insider. Just trying to take care of my health. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
Got an X-ray done today, and I got an MRI scheduled for next week. So
that's awesome.
Hopefully, no more limping. But I'm good though.
Yeah. We don't want no limping. So I'm happy to hear that you're good though, Andy.
Yes, ma'am.
Very happy to hear that. So could it be that Kanye is going to retire? I don't know. Sometimes I feel as though a lot of these artists have already given all they've got. They've already given it, what more can we get from Kanye? Now, don't get me wrong. I personally have always said that I believe Kanye is like a musical genius, right? Now, I know he is disturbed in many ways, but musically, I've always felt that he was a genius in his ways. Everything about him, the way that he, conjures up ideas and thoughts and he delivers that in his music. I feel like once a genius, always a genius. And so he could do, something else that's miraculous when it comes to music. But, he did just release his another album not long ago, a couple months ago. And I just don't know what else he can do. And sometimes when you get to that level of fame, that level of success, when it comes to wealth and all of that, it's sort of like, maybe you can just chill out and diversify off, away from the camera, away from the limelight. I don't know, Andy, what do you think?
We're talking about retiring from music, correct?
Retiring from music, yes.
I think when it comes to artists and, their catalog, I think after 3 albums, I think we should give grace to a lot of these artists. So, if they want to, make music after their 3rd album, I'm not going to really grade them so high because, a lot of the hunger comes, in the beginning, you know what I mean? So, after you become kind of wealthy, what I'm saying, you're doing good or whatnot, the music doesn't seem as good anymore because they lack that hunger or whatnot. So if he wants to go ahead and retire, I think he already solidified his name. He has a footprint in the game. I mean, them first 3 albums were certified classics. So if he wants to go ahead and retire, it's all good.
I think he should. If he's desiring to retire, I think he should. But I do think that there are other artists who've already set the precedent for how they are able to uphold a certain quality of music. I think for the most part, maybe they're anomalies, but for the most part, a lot of these artists, they don't have the hunger, so they tend to sound a little bit more watered down. Maybe all their ideas are not as impressive as they once were. But
Andre 3000.
Andre, what?
A lot of people have been clamoring for him to drop a hip hop album, right?
Definitely.
I don't know if you saw his interview a while back when he dropped his flute album or whatnot.
Yeah.
He was just talking about, well, what do you guys want me to talk about? A colonoscopy or something?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, with time, all things change in your life. Like Jay-Z, him coming out with his 444 album, it's like he was just talking more family, business. What more do you want him to talk about at that point? Yeah, so I do hear that. I agree with that as well. But it sounds like he's considering it. Rich the Kid, he's a rapper. He leaked, I don't like when people do this, by the way, he leaked their private messages online, and maybe it wasn't so private, maybe it was a thing, maybe it was a strategy, but he leaked their text message conversation where Kanye allegedly said that he's retiring professionally from music. And Rich the Kid is like, no, we need you, you got to stay. I don't know. I hope he sort of focuses his genius ideas on other things. Doesn't have to be music. I feel like other things could use his attention. Speaking of music, though, Eminem, he finally unveiled the cover art for his anticipated album. It's called The Death of Slim Shady. And I am a big Eminem fan, but I want Eminem to give us something of substance. I don't think he's ever done that. He's always great. He's always lyrically one of the best. But I just don't feel like I've ever gotten anything that I can play and take him seriously in and hear and get something from him, but everybody's not required to do that. We've also talked about this before. Different artists are meant to do different things. Some artists are conscious rappers, others are just sent to entertain you, and that could be what Eminem is doing. Andy, what is it that you want to say about Eminem?
You're answering yourself right now.
Okay.
I don't think you're ever going to get anything of substance from Eminem. What you're going to get is great lyrical, ability.
Yes.
And that's pretty much it.
I was saying I hope. I wish. Okay? I wish.
I wish the same thing for Megan Thee Stallion. And okay. I know that was completely different. I just listened to her album, that's why.
It wasn't great. First of all, do you think Megan Thee Stallion is a good rapper?
Yes, she is.
Okay.
I think she can rap. I think she got bars. I think she got flows. It's just the subject matter is just too repetitive.
Yeah, I agree with that. On to the last musical thing that we will talk about. It's Diddy. Diddy. Oh, Diddy. He is involved in another lawsuit. There's another young lady who is suing him for she's alleging that he sexually abused her. There's all types of things going on, and it's just not looking good for him. And the same attorney who represented Cassie is now representing her. Her name is Audria English, and it's just not looking good. So Diddy, though, what's interesting is the way he's moving out here. He's still on his private jet. They recently saw him whitewater rafting. He's still living his life, and I can't be mad at that per se, but you got to admit it actually doesn't look good. It doesn't look good when you have all these things going on. And then financially, it doesn't look good either. I mean, he's having all these lawsuits against him, and he is over here still trying to live his best life. And I'm not saying stop living, but don't be so extravagant maybe in your ways.
Got to do it big, though. Got to do it big because I know I'm about to be serving some time. Got to do it big.
Do it big. Okay, that's what Andy says. Well, I don't know. Let's go ahead and jump right into the Raw Report, Andy.
Now it's time for a breakdown.
Okay, we are talking about Will Smith again. Will Smith, but by the way, I hope you guys went to go see Bad Boys. I've seen it twice at this point. It is such a good film. It's such a good one, and we didn't know, this is number 4, we didn't know how they were going to be able to parlay this into another really great film, because, some of these franchises, they run out of gas real quick. They run out of gas, they run out of ideas, they try to keep a different storyline going, all while sort of continuing the thread, and that's difficult to do. But as a viewer, I have to say I'm pretty impressed. And so on the heels of this movie coming out, it seems as though Will Smith and his representatives want the Academy to lift the ban. Y'all know that 10-year ban that he had placed against him after the Oscar slap. Does he deserve that? And what are the fans saying? What do the fans say? What do they want? We're going to have a conversation about that. We're also going to be talking about Iyanla Van Zant, who says prayer doesn't work. And it doesn't stop. I mean, I know that sounds it sounds provocative, but it's not just that. She didn't leave it there. We will talk about what she says works, okay? We'll play that also and break that down on the other side. I want you guys to stay right there. You're listening to The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Eric Bellinger hanging out right here with my family at the Raw Report. Keep it locked.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
KBLA Talk 1580 is now celebrating 3 years of amplifying our voice and uplifting our community. We deeply appreciate your support of this radio station and will always do our level best to earn your support. Here's to many more years of loving and serving our community. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
I know it cannot happen without you.
The wait is over. Dell Technologies Black Friday and July deals are live. Check out incredible savings on select laptops and more, like the XPS 15, powered by Intel Core processors. The XPS 15 brings you the perfect balance of power and portability, plus stellar visuals and immersive sound. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to exceptional tech and electronics, plus free shipping on everything. Don't miss out on Black Friday and July savings at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Are you wet shaving? You'll get razor bumps.
Nah, Pops, I'm good with Gillette Skin Guard. How long you been growing that beard Mama hates anyway?
Since 77. I shaved and got ingrown so bad.
That's why I use the Gillette Skin Guard razor, face scrub, shave gel, and moisturizer. So I don't have to worry about new razor bumps or shaving irritation.
Gillette Skin Guard, huh? Your mama's gonna love this one.
The best a man can get keeps getting better with Gillette Skin Guard. Buy now at a retailer near you.
If we're the ones disproportionately impacted by these climate catastrophes, why should we be silent? Turning up the volume all year long on the climate conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007 they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA Can believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news. You're inside the Rob Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580. 1580.
This is actually pretty funny. I'm over in our YouTube. Oh, wow. This is interesting. This is a very interesting question that we have here. The question is, should the Academy lift the 10-year ban that was placed on Will Smith? And 67% of you say no, while 33% of you say yes. It's interesting. I'm excited to have this conversation to see what we all think, and I don't know what's going to come of it. On the line with me, though, is Whitley Yates. Hi again, Whitley.
Hello, Robert.
How you doing today?
I'm great. I'm excited for the conversation. It's always fun here on the Raw Report.
Thank you so very much. It's always great having you on. I have to say, you have a very stunning profile picture on your when you call people and their phone, their photo shows up. Yeah, I mean, it's stunning. It's gorgeous even.
I'm catfishing. It's all filters. It's not for real.
I doubt that. Highly doubt it. But yes, definitely beautiful. And I'm happy to have you on with us today. So I'm asking them. I'm asking the Raw Squad what they think. But what do you think, Whitley? I mean, obviously, it seems as though maybe he's got some people trying to ask for him to. They're saying that there's an article that reports that he's begging the Oscar bosses to let him back, but I highly doubt that. I think that's pushing it a little bit, but maybe there is a little bit of interest now that he's saying, listen, we're out here making things happen. Bad Boys Ride or Die accumulated 360 million globally, and so they're doing big numbers. People do want to see Will Smith, and I just don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen. Do you feel like that should happen?
I understand why he is advocating for the 10-year ban to be lifted, and I understand based upon what he's been able to produce and the work that he's been able to do, why he would want that done. But I'm not sure if he is ready to do what's necessary to have the level of redemption necessary that the Oscars is looking for in order to do that.
Okay, what do you feel as though he may not be ready for what sort of redemption? I feel like maybe he has done everything in his mind that he needed to do, which was reach out to Chris Rock, say his apologies, both publicly and privately. He's done both. What more do we ask of Will Smith at this point?
Well, listen, Hollywood is known to be pay to play. And so I think him earning his way back outside of accepting responsibility for what happened at the Oscars will come with some sort of monetary restitution or reparations for the harm he's done. I think he can pay to get back in. I think the Oscars, if he wrote them a big enough check, then they, and some type of public acknowledgement written by his publicist or apology, that he would be able to mosey his way on back in and possibly win an award. It wouldn't be him, but someone from the movie or the movie itself.
Like Best Picture or something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's actually pretty interesting. Andy?
Excuse my ignorance, but what are the benefits by, being a part of the Academy as opposed to not?
I think it's just
the award.
I think that just even claiming to be a member is just looked at as being prestigious. I don't know what other. I think you're able to vote. I don't know that matters. I think more so than anything, it's just membership and how that looks and being a part of something that is long-standing and prestigious. I don't know. Do you know anything more, Whitley? What are the benefits of it?
There's definitely a huge level of prestige, and I'll put it like this. It's hard to win the accolades if you don't have the association. If that makes sense.
Okay.
A lot of people won't even be considered. Your works won't be considered if you're not in association with the Academy.
Okay. Andy, does that clear things up a little bit?
A little bit. I guess now it just has me thinking like Will Smith is an established Hollywood actor who has movies, right, that have been acknowledged by the Academy before. I just don't see the benefit now. I mean, like, once again, you're established. You're Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like, people obviously forgave you. People went out to the movie theaters to go see your movie. We're not tripping over the slap no more. So why are we worried about the Academy again? I feel that he might be a little bit above the Academy, in my opinion.
Wow. Okay. All right. Fair. Whitley, you know.
That was a reach, bro. You're reaching a little bit. This is
above the Academy is a reach. Right.
Above the Academy is a reach because in each and every field, in each and every lane, there is an accolade or there is a major award, whether that's a Grammy, whether that's a Tony, whether that's an Emmy, whether that's an Oscar, the EGOT winners, like. In each and every field, there's the highest of the high, and so to be above that is saying absolutely nothing because the accolade is what gives you the acclaim. Oscar nominated, Oscar award winning.
Right.
I mean,
right.
It is it's basically the check mark that the work that you're doing is of a standard that transcends the industry and is top tier among everybody.
Yes.
And so it is something that is sought after, like in each and every field. So to say, well, I don't care about it, kind of similar to a female rapper who hasn't won a specific award that I'm not going to name. But everybody wants that accolade because it's like you see me. Not only do you see the work, but you see me. And so even people advocating for him, they're advocating on his behalf. This is a strategy. It's strategic. He wants his show to win. He believes that it's worthy. And it was a box office hit. It's not that it's not worthy. The problem that you have is that the internet is written in ink and that slap still stands. They gave you a 10-year ban. And even if you produce 10 more box offices in the next 10 years, they're saying you can't sit with us. So
you can't sit with us. No, that does make sense. And I agree with you that is the thing that people want to attain, right? You want to attain an Oscar at that level, at Will Smith's level, at any level. As an actor, a professional actor, that's what you want. You want that Oscar. But the fact that he's already won, he actually won that year again. Does that mean anything? Does that say, because you remember he resigned from he resigned from the Academy after that happened. So in 2022, he was like, okay, I'll accept whatever consequences come along with this. But for him, he had already reached that level, and so to Andy's point, it's like he's already done it. He's already reached the peak, and so. But does that matter, or are people? Would you say that people still want to be associated because it's like, okay, give me another one. Let's work for another one, so on and so forth.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think it would limit movies and pictures that he can be a part of in the future if they know that they will not be considered because he's associated with the film.
Oh,
So
that's a
him
different angle. That's a different angle. Let me say this, though. The reason that what I love what Will Smith is doing is that he's taking back his power. He's already been in power. He has Westbrook, or he has Overbrook as his production company, and he creates his own movies, right? He's fully in production in his own film. So, but I hear that point. I definitely hear that point. He's still a man, an actor that can be hired on someone else's project. So, Andy, do you feel like that makes a case?
No.
Okay, Andy's not.
Are
lying.
you going to get a couple extra zeros on your check by being a part of the Academy? Is he still getting paid from doing Bad Boys 4?
Yes, because he was a producer on Bad Boys 4. But what she's saying is, if there's another production that wants to hire him, having nothing to do with Overbrook, they may not want to have him associated with it.
He don't need it then.
But what about everybody else who's doing this to achieve an Oscar?
But if he...
Yeah. Association breeds assimilation. Association breeds assimilation. Meaning, why would I hire Will Smith on something I'm putting my time, energy, and wherewithal into, knowing that just because he's associated with the film, we're not going to win an Oscar. We won't even be considered because his association. He cannot come. He can't attend. He's banned. Then
However,
it's him to only produce for himself.
Let me push back on that 1 second, because from what I understand is that the only thing he's banned from are the actual events. He's still able, right? He's still eligible to receive an Oscar. He just can't attend the events. Is that your understanding, or do you don't know? Okay,
that is not my understanding.
He is unable.
He is not a member. He is not a member. So he can't win, and you can't win an Oscar if you're not a member.
Okay, I gotta do some research on that, because I did not have that understanding.
To be a member, 2 members have to nominate you. So, yeah.
Oh.
And there's requirements of who can nominate you and the types of representatives that can nominate you, and what you have to do and how you have to act to seek admission into the Academy.
Okay.
This is like a sorority or fraternity.
That's what it sounded like.
You gotta know somebody that knows somebody and go through a process.
Clearly. But speaking of knowing somebody, it seems as though there are still people, as you mentioned, Whitley, that are advocating for Will Smith. And so we got to talk about that still, because as of right now, it looks like more of you now agree that the ban should be lifted. But what does that mean? And what would that mean for anybody else who violated their policies in the future? We'll talk about it more on the other side. We still have to talk about Iyanla Van Zant saying that prayer does not work. What does she mean by that? We'll break that down on the other side. Right now, we've got news, traffic, and sports. You are listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay there.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Lil Real Howery. Right now, you're listening to KBLA Talk 1580. That's right. The Rob Report.
More of The Rob Report with Robin Ayers when we come forward.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm Mike Moore. Now here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Harvey Weinstein is scheduled to be back in a New York City courtroom today as prosecutors seek a retrial on rape and sex assault charges. A September retrial date could be set. However, prosecutors are also looking into more sexual misconduct allegations against Weinstein that could possibly mean more charges. President Biden is getting support from the Congressional Black Caucus amid growing calls to drop out of the 2024 presidential race. Biden joined a call with black lawmakers Monday night. Some participants described Biden as clear, coherent, concise, and committed, with one calling talk of removing him from the ticket ridiculous. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. I started Blindster in 2010 in my garage after I overpaid for new blinds. I researched the industry, hired my mom, and 14 years later, we're one of the largest retailers of custom blinds in the U.S. Don't pay too much for new blinds. Go to Blindster.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
I'm a bad man. The U.S. Olympics men's basketball team has LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant, three of the greatest scorers in NBA history. LeBron is the NBA's all-time leading scorer, but for some reason, Minnesota Timberwolves star Anthony Edwards believes he should be the number one scoring option for Team USA in the Summer Olympics in Paris. The 22-year-old Edwards made his comments to reporters after today's practice in Las Vegas. Edwards is a rising star in the NBA and someday could become the face of the league after LeBron retires, but it's hard to imagine the USA coaching staff will give Edwards that notoriety with so many future Hall of Famers on the roster. USA coach Steve Kerr hasn't even set his starting lineup yet. First Olympic game for Team USA is July 28th against Serbia. Keep an eye on how Team USA coaches use Edwards in the game plan. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is the fastest growing talk radio station in Southern California. Home to 50,000 watts and an audience reach of 12 million listeners. KBLA Talk 1580 is a pioneer for black audio content, including our groundbreaking $2 million climate justice campaign and the most loyal, influential audience. According to an independent research study by the polling firm Aviterus, for the second consecutive year, KBLA Talk 1580 is the most trustworthy, reliable, and credible news source for black audiences and beyond in Southern California. Let KBLA Talk 1580 power your advertising dollars. Our omni-channel custom marketing solutions are specifically tailored to connect with your ideal target audience. We leverage audio, podcasts, streaming, digital, social media, and local activations to get your message out to the black community. Get in touch with our advertising team today at advertising@kbla1580.com. That's advertising at kbla1580.com. KBLA 1580. We've got you black.
Have you heard of the 50-30-20 rule? This can help you spend and save your money wisely. So, how does it work? Distribute your dollars into 3 buckets. 50% towards needs, 30% towards your wants, and 20% goes to savings. Use this tool to help your journey to financial success. Sponsored by J.P. Morgan Chase & Company.
Looks like Bobby needs a ride again.
Grab the keys. Let's take our auntie to the swap meet. Grab the keys.
Whether you're giving rides or hauling gear, do it all in a Chevy SUV. Head to your local Chevy dealer, where well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Malibu, Colorado, Blazer, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Traverse limited models. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 15.8% must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available, at least in some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 7/1/24.
SoCal on July 14th. Big 3. We're back. The world's greatest basketball in the summer. The Big 3. There's simply no comparison, no competition.
They not like us.
That's right, they not like us. We own the summer with our traditional hard-nosed brand of basketball. The Big 3, founded by Ice Cube. It's professional 3-on-3 basketball with former NBA greats and Hall of Fame coaches. Come out to the Honda Center July 14th. Hang with your homeboy Ice Cube and watch the greatest game in the summer. It's your homeboy Ice Cube. It's the Big 3, Season 7. The hottest game of the summer. I'll be in the house with your favorite Big 3 players and Hall of Fame coaches. Get your tickets at big3.com/tickets. Oh, yay.
Keeping you informed about what's really going on. Who's got next? And what not to miss in entertainment. You're listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
We got the break just to make it today. I said we pray. Oh yeah, we pray. We got the break just to make it today. All my life I wanted to make it to the top. Some said I wouldn't, they told me no, but I didn't stop. Working hard, making those moves every day. And on my knees every night, you know I pray. I said we pray.
You are inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. We are having this really good conversation, and I'm shocked that our poll has taken a turn. I'm asking you over in our YouTube if the Academy should lift the 10-year ban on Will Smith, and it's changed quite a bit. Exactly the opposite. Now 64% of you say yes and 36% say no. We are on the phone with Whitley Yates, and Whitley, okay, I hear the point. I hear everything that you're saying. Andy, your point is that Will Smith at this point does not need the prestige, right? He's already achieved the Oscars. He's global. At this point, the world knows who Will Smith is. I do also agree that Bad Boys 4 is a good movie. I do not believe that it's Oscar worthy either. I think Forrest or Lavelle said that inside of our YouTube chat. I do not believe that it's Oscar worthy, but I want to talk about fairness really quickly. If they did, even if Will Smith did write a check and they did lift this ban, what does that say for anybody else in the future? That it wouldn't mean anything. Their word doesn't mean anything. Would you agree with that? Whitley?
Was that for me or Andy?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry, Whitley. Yes. Do you agree with that?
I think that they should ban people that have duplicitous behavior in every single movie. So that's the Harvey Weinsteins of the world as well. I don't think that there should be harsher penalties imposed on black actors for their behavior, and we allow Wahite actors to skip, run free, and molest teens and children.
That's a great point. I don't know if I've ever heard of the Oscars banning any other actor from their Academy. I'm just not sure. Or maybe if they have, maybe it's just because this one was a bigger deal. It was on a grander scale, right? And so I'm just not sure. But I personally believe that 10 years was a bit too much. I thought that was excessive. I thought maybe, if anything, they could do sort of a 5-year ban, and we would have already been halfway there. And then, do you feel like the public makes it any better? Because the public at this point, because you didn't have this reaction to Will Smith when Emancipation came out, but I also believe that Emancipation was released a little bit too soon after the fact. And it was that, but it was also the type of movie that it was. It just didn't do very well. But here we are. This is their bread and butter. Bad Boys, the franchise, is definitely their bread and butter, and the fans are saying we love it, we want him. Do you think that the fact that the fans are saying we want Will that have, outside of the check you believe he could write in order for the ban to be lifted, do you feel that the fans will have any bearing on their decision?
No, I don't think so. Okay. And when I think of the people that they've banned in the past, like they banned Bill Cosby in the past.
Yeah.
He's banned from the Oscars. Harvey Weinstein actually did get banned, but Harvey Weinstein was like the beginning. So they had to change they changed the whole code of conduct for Harvey Weinstein, which should not be surprising based upon his actions and what he did. So that was kind of the beginning. And then I think Bill Cosby got banned after Harvey, and then Will Smith, after that. 10 years is a really long time, considering how long it takes to produce a movie and have a movie come out and things of that nature. I do think it is quite harsh, but I also believe a lot of the acts that other people did were through their personal lives, and he utilized the Oscars platform to push harm on someone else, and I think that carried a different gravity of repercussions for him. But I don't think it ever hurts the black community to continue to stand with Will and to advocate to see him in places that they believe he deserves to be in. That's never going to be an issue. However, we have to look at the organization and institution that we are attempting to insert him back into. Oscars So White was not just a hashtag. It was a realization that there isn't a lot of diversity within this field, and that specifically black filmmakers and creators have been fighting to be included, and the ones that have been are expected to act in a level of decorum that is not disrespectful to the platform, because it's clear by their intentions and behavior that we're not necessarily wanted but tolerated in that space.
Ooh, okay. Whew. Lavelle Delone says he says basically they can still be nominated and win. They just cannot attend. Colston Chinese says it's the gold medal of acting. It is. That'll never change. I do believe that no matter what people say, you can do it for the love of it, but at the end of the day, you want to be acknowledged in that light. Forrest Harrison says black people don't know their wealth. Ooh. Okay. Black movies have saved Hollywood several times. Okay. I definitely hear that. I agree with you. Generation Love says Will, Jada, and Chris Rock should have just invested in producing the movie G.I. Jane. That would have been pretty clever. Will and Jada could have donated to Chris Rock and share in the film as a form of reparations. That is very clever. Also, to Thomas Outlaw's point, he says a big fan of Mr. Smith, but there are principles to laying hands on folks. Understandable, but you have to take the punishment. Will Smith as a person will be okay one way or another, but his body of work speaks for itself. I agree. As much as I'm a fan of Will, as much as I advocate for Will, and I don't think that I definitely don't think that it warranted 10 years. I thought somewhere around 5 years would have been, that would have been adequate in my opinion. But I do believe, hey, it is what it is. You got to take it and not try to go around the rules and not try to, he's just got to accept it for what it is. Andy?
I'm just tired of us begging to be included into things.
Okay.
Especially in spaces that were not wanted.
Yeah.
Why are we begging for their approval?
Yeah. Yeah, if that is true, in fact. I definitely hear that. Let's move on. Do you have anything else you want to say on this, Whitley?
No, I'm not that. I did look it up, and the person is right. He could technically win, if he was nominated and they ended up voting for him, but he could not attend. But I think it's just highly likely that someone that's not a member of the Academy win the Academy Award. So
yeah. Well, Terry Tari says, she says, let him win the Oscar, but let Jada pick it up for him. So he can't go and accept it, but that's funny. That was actually pretty good. Yeah, I agree there. Can we go ahead and move on to this other conversation? Iyanla Van Zant she's speaking up again. Iyanla says that prayer doesn't work. And I normally, listen, this is not preachy. This is not religious in any way, but I think it's actually pretty good. And I think what we need more of in this business are people who are not afraid to push the envelope a little bit and talk about things like this, because no matter what we say, we were talking about how toxic our society is. This society, Whitley, you may agree, is so toxic, and we need help. Okay, we need help wherever we can get it. And if Mama Iyanla want to go ahead and give us, a couple of bars to help us out, then I think we should gladly accept it. Let's go ahead and get into this clip of what Iyanla had to say about prayer that doesn't work. But what else is she saying with it? Let's take a listen.
You know what I finally figured out? Prayer doesn't work. Now, before you jump in the comments with all of your rebucations and upsets, listen. Prayer doesn't work. What works is your mind and your heart. You see, you can pray until your lips get stiff. But if your mind is full of doubt and fear, if your mind is full of questions, if your mind is full of wondering and control, that prayer ain't gonna work. You can pray till your eyeballs bleed, but if your heart is full of anger and bitterness and resentment, that prayer is not gonna work.
She had some more things to say, but it was along the same lines. I don't know. I'm not trying to get all up in your business, Whitley, but are you a praying woman? And do you, even if not, does she make a valid point? Do you know enough about prayer that it makes a valid point, what she said?
Yes. I'm a PK. I'm a preacher's kid.
Okay.
So I do think what she's saying is rooted in it. I think it's rooted in the word. I think this scripture, specifically Philippians 4:6-7, talks about basically don't pray and worry. Like, don't be anxious for anything in every situation by prayer and petition. So what she's saying is in alignment with the word. Saying with faith without works is dead. Like, I mean, she might be spitting.
She just might be. She just might be spitting some bars.
I don't know. James 2:14. Faith without works is dead. Don't pray and worry.
Amen.
Don't toy. I mean, she might just be in her word, actually.
Okay.
It doesn't sound good.
Now, here's
but there
the thing.
are resounding sentiments in the Bible.
Yes, I hear you. I agree with that. There are some people who actually don't agree, because the question inside of our poll right now is, do you agree with Iyanla that prayer doesn't work, but your mind and your heart is what works with prayer? There are some people who just simply don't agree. And do you think that people have taken I didn't read comments. I didn't catch what the temperature was, but are there some people who could be offended by that? Just, all we've been told all of our lives is that prayer, pray about it, because prayer works. And she's over here putting a caveat on it. Do you feel how people could be like, nah, I'm not in agreement so much with that?
I mean, I think we extrapolate what we want from the Bible, and I think that we extrapolate the scriptures that best tend to our lives. But I think in the grand scheme, to say that your heart and your mind have to be in a place that is free from anxiousness and free from fear, or when you're feeling that way, you go to the Lord in prayer and you say, Lord, I'm fearful of the next steps, or I'm afraid, or all of these things, and give me the peace that passes all understanding. And then you're able to trust in that He's going to provide. He always does. He always will, etc. I think that it's a relationship thing. And so I think she's speaking from her own relationship, while other people feel like as soon as I pray, I feel better. Whether or not it's worked out immediately, the fact that I've uttered it and I've said it and I've placed it on His throne and it's off of my mind and it's off of my heart, it feels better. But everybody's relationship is different. So I don't want to be judging her relationship because I only know mine. Okay.
I hear that. So here's where I stand on it, and then we'll kind of end this here. I believe what she's saying is that all things have to be in alignment. Otherwise, if you're just reciting something, because they do say, right, the Bible even talks about that the power of life and death is in the tongue. You can just say something and people think that, okay, you're just reciting words, and that has no power. It doesn't have power because everything else is not in alignment with it. The feeling, your heart and your mind, as she's saying. I think that is ultimately the point, that everything has to be in alignment for the prayer to actually be effective and work. People could agree or disagree. It's sort of like what you said, that everybody has their own relationship and everybody has their own testimony even about prayer in their own life. And that's fine. I just enjoy the fact that she took it upon herself to say, listen, I am Iyanla Van Zandt. Y'all have trusted me for a number of things pertaining to the heart, pertaining to relationships and all good things, really. And so she's taken it upon herself to stand in the gap there for this society. So I just enjoy that. I think more people could be positive, talk about something more positive. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Shout out to Iyanla Van Zandt. Did y'all see the way that she wiped Jonathan Majors' nose and things like that when he was getting accepted? She let him cry in her bosom. I mean, that's Mama Iyanla. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to her.
That is
Shout out to her
Mama
for that.
Iyanla.
That's Mama Iyanla. I do see we have a call from Ira. We'll get to that on the other side. Whitley, thank you so much for joining me on this conversation. Let everybody know where they can find you and keep up with you.
You can find me at Whitley J. Yates on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you guys on the other side.
Thank you, Whitley. Appreciate you as always.
Bye.
Okay, when we come forward, we will get to this phone call because I know Ira wants to talk about Will Smith. We'll finish up that that conversation as well. You are listening to KBLA Talk 1580. Stay there.
Hey, I'm Damian Young. I'm chilling with Robin on the Raw Report.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you tired of being stuck without internet access? Connect and go with LA County Library. It's simple. Visit your local LA County Library location and borrow a hotspot for free to get Wi-Fi wherever you are.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
Are you concerned about the youth in our community? Family connections are crucial for youth and young adults, especially those in crisis. Sanctuary of Hope is dedicated to improving the lives of these young individuals through bonding, healing, and relationships. Join us on July 11th at 9:30 a.m. at Holman United Methodist Church for breakfast and an inspiring conversation on family connections. You'll meet some of the dedicated Sanctuary of Hope team, community members who have been a part of crisis resolution, and young people whose lives have been transformed by support and care. Learn about the Sanctuary of Hope's programs that assist youth and young adults, and discover how you too can be part of the solution. For more details and to register to attend, visit thesoh.org. That's www.thesoh.org. Join a movement that's making a real difference.
Around here, we don't believe in victimhood. We believe in raising our voices, amplifying black voices in the climate conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580. Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news. You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
And I want to go ahead and take this call from Ira, calling from Los Angeles. Hello to you, Ira.
Hello, and I appreciate you taking my call.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to say I agree wholeheartedly with Andy on the Will Smith situation. I'm sorry to go backwards on you guys. Look, the man's 60 years old. He's been a top box office draw for years, the number one several times, and that's just a phenomenal feat. His movies have made billions. He's made big chunks of change for himself and others. I realize the Academy is about acknowledgement from your peers. He's gotten that. So I don't even see where he really needs the Academy. Mm-hmm. Most people are over the slap, and let's kind of move on. He's certainly done so.
Do you think that in the public's eyes, if he were to be accepted back into the Academy, let's just say hypothetically they lifted this ban, do you think people would look at him as lesser than because he sort of fought his way to get back in? Or do you feel like they would respect him more if he just did this hard 10 and then, kind of went about his business?
I think they would respect him if he did his time a little bit more. But let's be honest. I mean, the guy is up top, and I mean, he's not only was he up top before, he's already fought his way back and come back to being up on top. And I don't know how much more they can respect him. I mean, he's on top right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. There was a comment, though, I wanted to ask you about. There were people who are wondering if the Academy will still have the same acclaim. So let's just say, I remember back in the day bringing a BET. I remember when Beyonce and Jay-Z and all, people like that, who we would consider A-listers, would attend these types of awards, and they no longer do. Obviously, I think that Black excellence is a conversation that we should have all the time, or the lack thereof. I think that we are losing our way when it comes to certain platforms and certain events and organizations. The Oscars, obviously, the Oscars it's one of those types of events where you have everybody who we consider A-listers. Do you think that they would lose anything by not having Will Smith show up? Because it means something. When we see Will Smith and Jada and their family take to that red carpet at the Oscars, it feels good to see such great representation of us. But do you think we'll lose any of that, being that we won't see him there for another 8 years or so?
I think so, because he's a part of the community. He is the most successful member of that particular community. And I think him not being there does take away. But I've also believed always, I remember, I'm a long-time resident of L.A. I remember watch stacks back in the 70s. 100,000 of us got into the Coliseum to watch other Black stars. We can do for ourselves. So my thing is, why don't all of us just get all those A-listers you talk about, Will Smith, all of them, get together and do our own thing. To heck with the Academy. If they don't want to admit us, just do our own thing. We can do for ourselves. We've done it before. We can do it again.
Oh, that sounds so good. That just sounds so good, especially because I don't think I've ever seen that in my lifetime. I don't think I've ever seen us just galvanize around a particular person and support them. Maybe I'm missing something, but I just can't recall a time. Well, Kendrick. I mean, we just saw Kendrick, but I mean, for I don't know if Kendrick is a part of that conversation, but I hear you, Ira. I definitely hear you. I would love to see something like that happen for Will. As a matter of fact, specifically for him, I would love to see that. Definitely appreciate your call. Thank you so much, Ira.
Thank you. Take care.
Absolutely. You as well. Thank you so much. Another great conversation tonight, you guys. Thank you so much for your engagement. Thank you so much to Whitley Yates for calling in today. We haven't given you a what not to miss in a while, and I want to give a special shout out to Forrest Harrison for this one because I hadn't seen it yet. But this is the Supremes at Earl's All You Can Eat. Wow, it's the trailer that's just dropped, and it's about lifelong best friends. Anjanou Ellis-Taylor, she's in it. Sanaa Lathan is in it. Uzo Aduba, did I say her name right? Uzo Aduba. She's in it. They're playing the Supremes, all right? So this seems like a pretty good film. I know it's going to be a great film. The trailer is great. I know the film is actually going to be great, something that we should keep our eye out on. For more information. I'm going to get more information and, of course, give it to you guys when it's a little bit closer, of course. Oh, it's on Hulu, August 23rd. Found it. It's on Hulu, so shout out to Hulu, August 23rd next month. And so you guys make sure that you check that out. I think it's really, really going to be a good one. Well, yeah, I can't wait to see that too. Colston Chinese says that Soul Train, BET, KJLH, KBLA are perfect examples. Okay. We rally behind our own. That's what Forrest Harrison's basically saying. We rally behind our own, as we should. And just to let you know, KBLA 1580, we are out there. Every time I go out there and I mention who I am, I hear the chatter. I hear people saying, yeah, it's really kind of cool to hear people saying, yeah, and they're catching on. People are loving what we're doing here. So, Ross Squad, I appreciate you guys for always tapping in with me. You want to stay connected, though, because you already know who's up next. It's Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, coming with a fire show because that's how he gets down. I appreciate all of you guys. My name is Robin Ayers. Remember, today and every single day forward, be a blessing.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm Mike Moore. Now here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Harvey Weinstein is scheduled to be back in a New York City courtroom today as prosecutors seek a retrial on rape and sex assault charges. A September retrial date could be set. However, prosecutors are also looking into more sexual misconduct allegations against Weinstein that could possibly mean more charges. President Biden